No, I'm just reflecting in terms of how you guys felt as children. Um, I, I feel that you could have come to me and said what you were feeling,
Didn't know
and
what
then
it
maybe
was.
I would have shared because
Didn't.
No,
obviously,
no, no.
No.
We've made
uh,
peace with that.
Yeah,
When we were
we have,
talking
and you
about
should.
it, yeah, you shouldn't feel no type of way. Because what we were saying is, if we were so intrigued by, oh, we've got ghosts in our house, then me and Marv would be running around with sheets over our heads. And like you
Yeah.
said, we would have been drawing them. We would have had cameras like, let's try and get them. It
yeah,
was so real to us in an experience that we didn't even speak about it like that or
Yeah.
try and engage in it in a way where we've acknowledged it so it's real. Like, I'll
yeah,
have to
yeah.
talk to Sandra and Matthew in a separate episode because I got mad at Matthew because of something he did in real life, not about ghosts or anything, but something tangible that
Yeah,
I could actually be afraid of. So I feel like all of my real fears were because I was so impacted by the unknown that it took a lot to scare me. Like it would take a
Yeah.
whole actual monster to
yeah,
make me go, oh, it's a monster. All the other
Yeah.
stuff, I feel like me and Marvin were just off air and we said, I thought the thing that we would speak most about was that you were an adult when we moved from Liverpool to London. So
yeah.
you would have had more of a recollection or an understanding of it. But what we came to the conclusion is we were scared in the same way because this was
Exactly the same
new
way.
for all of us. So
Mm,
how you were scared is
Is that
exactly
what we?
how we were scared. And the example
yeah.
is if let's say I tapped you on the shoulder right now and said, Mum, look behind you. And Beatrice like this, like you would be terrified. You would pee yourself. But
Yourself, Martha.
oh, I shit yourself. Shit yourself. But what I say that as an example to go, if I did the same thing to Nyla, she's 4, she would
Yeah,
scream the same way. So it's
Exactly.
not about you being an adult and being afraid or neither being a kid afraid. This was something
Mm.
unknown that we were all dealing with. I feel like only later on in years where I've remembered stuff and I've gone, Mum, you told me you
I
could
know
fly
exactly.
years ago. Was this you when such and such? And I'll bring stuff up. And I feel like we've all been reluctant to admit things because of how
Mm,
scared we were. And I feel like now we can afford to start saying, no, this was what happened. I mean, the story you
Mm.
told about somebody literally taking you out of your bed to go and get keys out the front door
That's
down a
scary.
yes,
hallway that me and Marvin had our own experiences. Because I'm telling you,
yeah.
I saw you come down the hallway. You went in the bathroom. I could see you in the bathroom. And then you came out the hallway again. I don't know what that's done to my mind, Mum. I'm slightly thrown off
Yeah. Well,
because
you
of
would be.
that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's but it's also fascinated me and made me open to things that are different or
Yeah.
things that are
Exactly.
unexplainable. It's made me intrigued
Yes.
by the unexplainable. And I'd love for
Well,
you to share what else impacted you as far as experience where, you said two things happened, whether that was 14 Orchard House, and you said something else happened in 2A where it was a bit, okay, this is a bit much now. So if you don't feel no type of way.
okay. Well, when I go back to what's it, Freddy Krueger, whatever. Used to, I'd say, scare me. The things that were happening in that house, it was like, well, one day I could hear scratching. I'm talking scratching, like someone was thinking wallpaper. And this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was going on and on and on. And then you're sitting there just saying, "Oh, just please stop it," but you're saying it in your head.
Mm,
And in the end, I remember going, "Stop it!" Really just screaming, and
mm,
stopped completely.
wow.
Now, I never ever found out whether or not it was the neighbour that side scraping the walls at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Mm,
or it was someone scratching. I never ever asked them, but I knew once I said, "Scream, stop it," it actually stopped.
And it never happened
wow.
again.
It never
Wow.
happened again.
That was your power, though. You didn't know that you had power because you were
Yeah.
afraid of it.
Get rid. But the feel the how can I put it? the heaviness feelings I didn't like, and it was like someone sitting on me. This only happened in the bedroom, my bedroom. It was like someone pushing me. I was falling into the
Just
bed.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why I started drinking lots and lots of coffee, because I didn't want to sleep. Now, for some unknown reason, I didn't say, well, let's go and sleep downstairs on the couch.
Yeah.
It was almost like I was
Drawn to the feeling.
told, to stay in that room. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, because that's how we
No,
felt about
exactly.
our rooms.
That's exactly how I felt about mine.
You know, I'm going through all these, drinking coffee and feeling like crap, but not going downstairs to sleep somewhere else, because we had that, big couches and everything.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that. It was almost like, I've got to stay here.
That's great. It is a really weird feeling to think that you could have jumped in our bed, you could have jumped in my bed.
And we felt confined to those spaces. That's
but
so
then
weird.
it was a happy house in some respects.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Party house, best.
I
didn't have a friend. There wasn't a friend that didn't want to come around our house.
Yeah.
It was
the best house.
But it was, how can I put it? I mean, there was one time we did have a party, and one of my girlfriends crashed in. It was in your room, actually, Marvin. I didn't even, obviously didn't tell you. I must have told you later on in life. And she said, well, why was all those kids playing in the bedroom? There was no kids in the bedroom.
There was no kids in the
but
bedroom.
There was kids playing in your bedroom with your toys. Honestly. And I was like,
That's.
And I said the other, said about the keys in the front door. We were on 3 floors.
Yeah.
Someone came, got me out of bed, walked me all the way down the stairs.
Same thing. Wait, the same thing
about the keys.
2A, yeah.
Wow.
My brain goes crazy with theories, and I always, at those times, we did live not far from a place of where the mentally insane lived. Remember, in the house?
Maudsley.
Yeah. So they were always roaming the area.
Yes.
And we also
opposite King's College Hospital.
And they were always roaming the area. Yeah. I had a few run-ins with them. The Lady in White, which is an episode we'll have soon.
Oh wow.
And
she
I know.
I heard.
Don't take too much.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, because that's the whole thing. That was really sad to hear, because her story needs to be told, and hopefully that will get part of what we're doing. Yeah. But with that, I just remember that when we're in that house and what we're doing, we would be in our bedrooms, confided to the area, but my window painted outside my room. Remember, and I had a painted window. Like, that's freaky in itself, because it was changing colors, and I don't know why, but it was never the same color every day. It was different.
So I can't picture what it was.
The color of the sky was different every day, and I used to just kind of just ignore it.
Wow.
And when I busted, it's really prominent. Remember when I busted my lip?
On the radiator.
The radiator. I ran out of the room. Marsh looked at me in the eye, and her face turned white when she looked at my mouth.
It was
I remember running down the stairs, but I remember looking at the window. And when I looked at that window and I was running down the stairs, the window looked completely different than I'd ever seen it before.
Wow.
That's something I've never said before.
I can see
that. And do you know what? I can see Marvin's face, because it was horror. Like, we're talking a busted lip open.
I wasn't. Mum wouldn't let me see it. Mum wouldn't let me see it. Yeah.
Why? Just don't ask me. Don't ask us why we did this. Marvin clearly wanted to do this. It's never really my fault. It was a joint effort. I'm sticking to it. And then I remember you being so scared because of how Marvin screamed, because of how I reacted. So by the time you realize that it's either one of our faults, he's the one that's bleeding. Berta, first of all, Berta I felt like Berta was 2 feet shorter than everybody at this time. And she stopped you from lunging at me. You wanted to rip my throat out. It felt like, it was like, what happened? And you come and tried to drag me. And we just had to kind of drag Marvin back to King's College
I
Hospital.
remember I wasn't allowed to see. I was hiding every mirror. You hid every mirror. I was not allowed to look at myself.
Horrific.
Nobody would let me look at myself.
It was so bad, Marv.
I'm amazed I've still got the.
Yeah.
And do you know what's crazy? It tingles.
No,
and my eye does, and then I ended up busting my eye. That was
you had me down as a child basher.
Yeah, they did.
You was playing basketball and having injuries. I was like, it's a non-contact sport. I was like, well, I can't do nothing about that.
Every single time I went, I was like, hello, Dr. Raymond. Like that, I knew my first name.
hello,
like, when I see you, and I see you again, Mum. Yeah, how's your family? And they're like, oh God, here he is again. This bloody family's kicking the crap out of him.
So yeah, child services coming for our necks every week because he's always injured or done something.
It's not glass, it's not mouth, it's not neck. It's like.
But you know what? I'm thinking about the whole aspect of Maudsley Hospital being there in Camberwell, and we were living at a time when 80s, 90s South London, it was active. So it was pubs, there were people around, late night, but during the day, just roaming, but you would have people taking walks. So it's whoever was protecting us in that house were like, yeah, it might not be wise to leave some keys in the door, but we were living in a time where you didn't necessarily have to lock it, because we're in Liverpool. Like Chubb locks and everything came early 80s, mid 80s for us, where people actually closed their doors. We came from families where we were invited, so our doors were open to everybody, but
London
London was different. So I feel like
that.
Whoever's probably been protecting you your whole life understood that, yeah, you are Cookie and you're very fun and loving and inviting and introducing yourself to new neighbors, and they think you're crazy because of something that you see as normal. It's like, what do you mean? Like, hi, my name is Geraldine, I'm from Liverpool and I've moved here with me too. That wasn't normal for these people. So leaving our door open wasn't normal for that area. So whoever was protecting us was like, Cookie, I'm taking you to go get these keys. Lock this door, and then
this dude gonna come kill you now. This guy gonna come kill you. It's just like
I revisited to Orchard House the other day. I think I sent Marsha a picture. What was so prominent to me was they've now put a full door on, and it almost felt like they'd closed whatever was happening inside.
Oh wow.
When I stood by the door, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Almost like we don't want no light to go through here. It was just weird.
It's like keeping the darkness.
Why would you do that?
Remember I told you I still have like crazy vivid dreams or nightmares about that, and I hate the kitchen. I hated the bars on that door, on that window in the front. And I would have nightmares about having to pass it or go through that front door. Like, it's a horrible feeling. Like, I hate it. When I'm in the dream, I'm like, oh God, wake up. Please wake me up. Wake me up. Jeez. And it's always that place. It's weird. Nowhere else in the house but that first entryway. Like, I saw your footage and it's crazy. All of our footage feels the same.
Yeah, it feels the same.
Like, our point of views are the same. It's almost like we're tentative to look because we don't know what we're going to see. And I'm like, why do we feel this way about this house? Like, what power does this place have over us? And I don't think it's power. I just think it's significance. I think whatever happened to us individually, us as kids, you as our mum that moved from Liverpool to London, you're newly separated and still working your arse off to support the household, and all of these things are happening all while Marvin's eating too much cornflakes and there's no milk left for your coffee that you have to drink because you want to drink.
It starts ending with black coffee in the end.
See?
Because you knew I weren't going to be reliable, that's why.
I think it was Frosties with Marvin.
Frosties, you made me go to cornflakes because there was too much sugar in the Frosties.
Yeah, because he used to put his own big tablespoon of sugar. I'm like, just get Frosties, you lunatic.
No, man, I got a sweet tooth from a long time ago.
So, with that same, you think it was the same Cherokee Native American presence that took you to get the keys in both homes?
Yeah.
Okay.
My protector. And your Uncle George, He's got an affinity with Native American Indians. If you go to his house, got them all over the place.
I remember him having the whole book. I remember. Can you remember the book? And it was like brown leather on the front.
And he was on the horse with the arrow.
Yeah. Oh my God, I used to love that book. We used to just sit there and look through that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Where's that book?
I thought about that.
Where's the book?
It must be in George's.
Wow. And I'm gonna ask Dad if I remember. It's like leather. It was like spongy leather. Thick
it was like
at the
Marsh.
front.
Wait, Marsh. It was like the equivalent of the never-ending story.
Never-ending story.
Dreams.
Oh, I remember to see Never-ending Story.
I know, it was one of the best days of my life.
It was a great day.
Boxing Day. It was back in the day when you didn't have a credit card, so I think I had 24 quid in my purse. And when we got to the thing, they said it's 24 pounds. We had no money for sweets, drinks, nothing. We just sat and watched the movie. But I thought, it's not like you just can't create money because I didn't have a card or anything. It was hilarious.
Wow, so it was literally what you had was what you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. And that's one of the best. One of my greatest memories is Never-ending Story and Labyrinth. Labyrinth was in Elephant Castle, and we went to see that because I did good on my report cards.
Okay.
That was like the best week ever. It was like one of those. That is, oh my God.
See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, with all the things and what this podcast is about being parts of our history and parts of the makeup that makes us who we are. As dark as some things may seem, and when people listen to it, the light shines much brighter.
Yeah,
always much brighter.
Yeah.
So because I'm Marsh, and I just have to, like, Mum, what was the darkest moment in 2A for you?
Marsh had to ask this question.
I just have to.
I think the darkest when I was kept on falling in the bed. That was the darkest. It was. I didn't want to sleep.
Please describe this. Please describe
it. It was. You can see it on the TV. They do it on the TV, boss, and you think, oh bloody hell, that happens. That's what scares you, because the feeling they can portray it on the screen.
The scene in Get Out when he drinks the drink in the chair, is that what it felt like? When he's falling.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's because that's the only way I could feel when I felt like that once. That when I watched that scene, I was like, whoa,
I hate it.
Like it's so real.
I'm trying to think of the Freddy Krueger movie because when it was on the big screen, and I was like, oh my God, they've captured exactly how I feel, and it's in the bed, and you feel like you're
paralyzed.
Yeah, you can't move.
Yeah,
you just
sinking,
going down, sinking.
So not in 14, but 2A, it wasn't a falling feel, but I would feel like someone was
actually going over.
Yeah,
thinking, but you're tossing. Someone moves.
Yeah.
So you like going over and over, but you're sinking. It was a horrible feeling, horrible. Yeah, hated it. With a passion.
With a passion.
Passion.
I was like Eartha Kitt on that.
With a passion.
I got the purr at the end. Do you know what? In light of obviously everything we've spoken about, and there's a lot of things that I said to Marsh that we're going to touch on, but I think that we should reconvene and come back to some of these topics and discover what's coming on the next podcast so people can hear other parts and relay the story, because there's so many other things that happen. And I think that now that you've brought some stuff out, Mum, and for your perspective of when you were there, it might shed more light on the other stories as well. Okay, because just reflecting in terms of going backwards and moving to, we talked about moving from Liverpool to London, and the difference it was. I mean, when I found a letter Marsh had written to Nana Bess, our better self, why we're here in London, and it made me feel really tearful, even like it, and it was
for me, it was trying to move from somewhere to give you the better life, basically. Because Liverpool was so racist, which still is. Well, the whole world is at the moment. And how it was all about you guys and ensuring that you had a better life, basically.
Mum, don't get me emotional before this thing ends, please.
No.
Don't need this.
Hold on, you showed me that letter, didn't you? Like,
I did. I think it's
you found? Yeah, and it's me saying I hate lanterns and Anna Bessie.
Why did you bring me here?
But I'd like to say just a massive thank you, Mum. Honestly, I was so anticipating this episode, and I'm just so happy how much I'm looking forward to having another episode with you.
Yeah.
Like, and just for thank you for just giving me the ability to just be a positive person. Do you know what I mean? Like I know I'm a positive person, and I know I get all of that from you. So I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm well proud of you too. Honestly, I couldn't want for better kids. Well, you're not kids anymore.
I am a kid, Mum. When I'm with you, I'm a kid.
You're still my baby. And I'll say that Marvin is still my baby. You've achieved so much, and you wouldn't have achieved your greatness only because of the people you are, basically. And your family and the wider family, you're a boss. I'm happy. And in my culture in Liverpool, boss means you're fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Thanks, Mum.
Thank you.
All right, then.
Okay, and we will talk about St. John Divine at some point.
Yes, we will.
When I had a whole conversation with your lovely Christian headmistress, when she said, we're all God's children. And I said, no, there's some racism going on in your school. And she couldn't believe it. But never mind. Here we are today.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying, Marsh. We got episodes going on now. Like, we'll get back to that. But this was another episode of Ghosts of Our Past UK. Please make sure you subscribe, click the like button, comment also as well. Click the bell so you are notified when the next episodes come in. Get us on Spotify, Anchor, Goop. Love you, Mum. Love you, Marsh. Thank you so much, guys.
Love you too.
I just wanted to end with who wears your shorts? Remember? Who wears your shorts?
With the diamond socks. Thanks, Mum. Thanks for that.
Who wears your shorts? I can't.
This is deja vu. No, it is.
Like a real one. Like a.
Oh, you just had a. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's good.
And that's an odd deja vu.
Oh, that's
an
really
odd one
good.
Because we've
Technology.
never been in separate environments.
Yeah.
In a deja vu, so that's pretty cool.
And you know what's crazy? I had a deja vu when I got to Philly, but it was about the two-way pager, and I had a two-way pager Motorola, and the blue screen that it would have on those devices. I was like, I dreamt this when I was like 8, but that technology wasn't available then. Or I wouldn't know I'd have been in Philadelphia in a studio with Jazzy Jeff. So I'm explaining it to him, and he was like, that is weird. Like a deja vu, but involving technology. Like, who knew we were going to be on Zoom wearing this?
Well, that might explain what Dad's theory was about when you're reborn and you get to do it all again.
Wow.
True.
That's what the deja vu might be, is the fact that you've done it before, but just in a different sequence.
Yeah. Thank you.